Hey guys, it's Kyana. Welcome back to my channel. I have like 3 weeks to let my current apartment know if I'm moving or if I'm staying, and long story short, I still have no idea what to do. A little backstory for you, I moved into this apartment at the end of February in 2020. So like the craziest time to move ever to a new city, to a new apartment. The whole world shut down 2 weeks later. So for the first 2 years, I just kind of like stayed put. It was COVID, it was the pandemic, nobody was really going anywhere. I just was like, I'm not moving right now. And then last year when my lease was up, I decided to kind of start looking around. I went on quite a few tours, but I was going to the office every day. So location was huge for me because this apartment is like 5 minutes from the office that I was going to. So although my rent went up by $180 a month last year, which is so crazy, I decided to just stay put for another year and kind of like figure it out next year. Well, now we're at next year and I have a new job. I work fully remote, so I have the flexibility to go anywhere. Right now, I decided I'm just gonna stay in Seattle. This is the closest city to where my family is, and that's really important to me to be able to be close to them. I love being within driving distance and not having to like plan a trip way ahead of time and buy a flight and all of those things to go see them. So the apartment tour that I'm gonna show you guys in this video, it's a pretty brand new building, and so I kind of watched it like build from the ground up. I was definitely interested last year, but it's way further away from the office and that was not a commute that I was willing to do. And so I decided against even looking at it because I knew that I would like it. So now we're here at this year and I decided to go tour it, and what do you know, I like it. The only thing is there are several pros and cons that I'm still weighing and trying to figure out if it's gonna be worth it to move because the other building is more expensive. So let's get into the apartment tours and then we'll kind of run through my like pros and cons and expenses and all of those things. So the first unit I toured in the building was a pretty small unit. It was 599 square feet, which is a little bit smaller than the place I currently live. As you can see, we have white cabinets with like a gray countertop, updated appliances, air conditioning, which is amazing. And it's a traditional 1-bedroom unit, so there's a window in the bedroom, which I don't have right now. Pretty nice walk-in closet. Ceiling fan in the bedroom, which is always nice, and in-unit washer and dryer. Unit number 2 was my favorite of the ones that I toured on this day. Again, in-unit washer and dryer. I really liked the bathroom in this unit because it connects to both the bedroom and the living room. As you can see in this unit, we have oak cabinets with the white countertops, which I liked a lot better personally, and it has a kitchen island, which I really like, a lot more counter space. It's definitely a bigger kitchen than the other unit. Again, air conditioning, the same hardwood floors throughout. This one's a little bit bigger at 782 square feet. Again, traditional 1-bedroom, ceiling fan, window in the bedroom. Walk-in closet that's a little bit smaller than the previous unit. However, there is a closet on the other side of the hallway, so you do have a little bit extra space in that way. There's also a coat closet at the front of the unit right when you walk in the front door, which is nice. And then this one has a little drawer in the island for trash, which I'm obsessed with. Third unit had similar features to the second one I toured, but this one was a little bit different layout. It had kind of diagonal walls, which I wasn't obsessed with because I think it would just be a little bit harder to furnish it. But this one has the same oak cabinets, nice kitchen island. The kitchen was pretty much the same size as the last unit. But again, we sort of have weird corners and angles in this apartment. Same sort of 1-bedroom style. This one has a pretty nice walk-in closet, just like the first unit. And this one actually has a much larger bathroom. It has double sinks and a lot more storage, which I really liked. I don't necessarily need double sinks, but it would be nice. Again, with the in-unit washer and dryer. And then this one has a little coat closet in the entryway as well. Okay, so my current lease is up at the end of June and my rent is going up by another $120 a month for a total of $300 since I moved into this apartment, which is so crazy. But that's kind of typical for rent prices around the area. Like everything is just going up like crazy. And Seattle in general is a super expensive city to live in. It's like so quiet in here and I feel like my neighbors can hear me. So I made a little spreadsheet of what my rent is currently, what my rent is going up to, and then what the rent would be at the new building. So base rent, the apartment that I toured is $200 more a month than what my current rent is going up to. So it's $320 more a month than I'm paying right now. Utilities I think would be about the same. I talked to the leasing agent and she gave me a pretty wide range, but she said she usually doesn't spend any more than $100 a month. And right now I'm paying $110. So that's what I put in my spreadsheet for the new building also. That's water, sewer, garbage. Parking is cheaper by $90 a month at the other building that I toured. So that's a little price savings. Electricity I think would also be cheaper at the new building. Right now I pay every other month, so it's kind of hard to know like what my monthly average is. So I took all of my electricity bills from 2022 and averaged them out and it came to about $80 a month. In the winter I pay like $65-ish every other month, and then in the summer I pay like $120 every other month because I'm running my portable air conditioning unit. When I talked to the leasing agent, she lives in the building and she said she runs her AC all day and her electricity is usually around $30 a month, which feels so cheap to me. And I work from home, so I feel like I use a little bit more electricity than the usual like average person. So I put $40 a month in the spreadsheet and that's like a total estimate. I'm not exactly sure how much it would be, but I think it would be a little bit cheaper. And then lastly is internet. Internet at the new building would be $15 more a month. Right now I have my own internet provider, and at the new building everyone pays like a flat fee per month and internet is provided through the building, so it's a little bit different. So overall, my rent comparison between what my rent is going up to if I stayed here and renewed my lease versus what it is at the new building, it would be about $90 more a month if I moved. Now, one thing to consider is that they have a rent special going on right now where you get 1 month free rent, but the only thing is that you have to move in by the end of May and then you get all of June free. And obviously that wouldn't work for me because my lease is up at the end of June. So I would need a special where if you move in by the end of June, then you get all of July free. And I'm not exactly sure if that's gonna happen. So at this point, I'm kind of just waiting to see if there's gonna be a special. If there's not gonna be a special and there's not going to be 1 month free, then I don't know if it makes sense to move because there are costs related to the move by itself. So it's a $50 application fee and then a $500 deposit. I had to make a $500 deposit on this apartment, but I am not factoring that in. Like I'm not thinking that I'm gonna get that money back. I'm just leaving it as like that money is gone, it's spent, and if I get anything back, then it'll just be like extra, a bonus. I don't wanna rely on getting that deposit back, even though I'm gonna try my hardest to. And then I also have the cost of movers. I don't exactly know how much that would cost. I haven't like called anywhere and gotten any quotes or anything, but I do have a friend who just moved out of my building and she paid about $500 for movers. So I just put that as like an estimate. So that's $1,050 to move. The other thing to consider is that all of the units that I toured probably won't be available when it's time for me to actually move. Obviously, like the layouts are the same throughout the building, so there will be other units like the ones that I toured. So I feel like I'm gonna have to go back at the end of the month and tour again because you can only apply and like put an apartment on hold for like 3 weeks. And I have to give 20 days notice to my apartment building. So that's like literally exactly like I would have to find an apartment, apply, and then give notice to my building like the same day. I don't know why renting and moving and like rent specials and leases ending and then leases starting and applying and holding apartments, like why it all has to be so complicated and frustrating and stressful, but it is. I also want to lay out a few pros and cons to moving versus staying. So one pro of staying here is obviously not moving. I don't have to pack up all my stuff. I don't have to hire movers. I I don't have to unpack a whole new apartment. Like I don't have to do any of that, which is nice. I also feel like I'm familiar with like the problems that this building has and the management, and like I know what to expect. And one fear I have with moving is like moving to a building where there are bigger issues that I'm dealing with right now as far as like the management or packages being stolen or like things like that. Like I know how this building operates and it's not perfect. I wouldn't even say it's good like by any means, but it's not like bad, and it's not bad enough that I need to move out of here. So that is one thing I'm a little afraid of. I did look up reviews for the new building and they're really great. So I don't feel like that's going to be a concern, but it is in the back of my mind. I also know a lot of the people in this building, and so that's nice. Living here for 3.5 years, I've like come to know some people and made friends in this building. So that is one thing with moving, is then I won't know anyone in the building. I also have a good location here in terms of events, shows, concerts, sporting events, all that kind of stuff. I'm close to the transportation system and closer than the other building just to the location of those things. Obviously, I'd be saving a little bit money by staying here. And then the one other thing that I kind of see as a pro, which is kind of dumb, is my little railing outside. Like I have a sliding glass door, so it lets a lot of air in, which is really nice. And then I have a little railing where I have like a planter and some lights. And so that makes me really happy. And I wouldn't have that at the new building. I would just have a window and I wouldn't have any sort of like door or railing or anything like that. So it's kind of like a little thing that doesn't really matter, but I wanted to include it. Cons of staying here: the new building has air conditioning, which is a huge pro. My apartment was 84 degrees yesterday, so having air conditioning would be a huge blessing. And I would also be able to get like a traditional 1-bedroom unit at the other place. As you saw, all of the bedrooms have windows, which is amazing because that's something that I don't have here. I have an open 1-bedroom, and so it's just like a sliding glass door. It's not like an official room. It's not, I mean, it's considered a 1-bedroom, but it's open 1-bedroom. Another pro about the other building is it's closer to like shopping, restaurants, and all of the everyday errands that I run. Like it's a better location for just like day-to-day stuff. It's just not as great of a location for like events, which I do go to like fairly often, but I feel like it's not that often. And it's also further from my friends, which is a bit of a bummer. I actually don't have any friends in the neighborhood where I would be moving. Another pro of the new building is it's nicer than my current building. It's a little bit newer and all of the amenities are better. Like overall, it has the same amenities. It's a secure access building. It has a parking garage. It has a lounge. It has a rooftop. It has a gym, like all of the same things that my current building has, but they're all just a little bit nicer. When I toured the other building, I immediately, just as soon as I got in the elevator, I was like, okay, this building is way nicer than mine. And I also feel like it's just kind of fun to like start fresh and start somewhere new and redecorate a new space and like set a new routine. I don't know, like I feel like those are good things. So I'm very on the fence, if you can't tell. If there is a rent special, I feel like it makes sense to move. Basically, it would be a little bit of a wash, I feel like, because I could use whatever I'm saving on that first month's rent that I'm getting for free minus the movers, the deposit, all of that stuff, and just kind of like spread it out over the 12 months and use that for what would be like the additional cost, if that makes any sense. But if they don't end up doing any sort of special for June, then I don't really have $1,000 just like laying around that I can spend on movers and deposits and all of that kind of stuff. And to me, it's worth it to pay for movers and not just like rent a U-Haul myself, because I don't want to have to like recruit a bunch of people to help me move and make everybody like carry my furniture. Like it's a lot harder moving out of an apartment because you have elevators. It's a much smaller space to move things out of. Like I'm gonna have to take apart my bed because I built it in that room and it won't fit out the door. Like there are so many things that movers would just be so much better and like worth the cost for. So that's where I'm at. If you guys have any opinions, or if you have a say of like whether you would stay or whether you would move, please let me know in the comments. Please, like if you have been in a similar situation, let me know. It's literally so stressful, like trying to figure out where you're gonna live and like moving and staying, and like, ugh, I don't know why it has to be this way. I will keep you guys posted on what I end up doing. If I end up moving, there will be lots of moving content, so don't forget to subscribe to see what ends up happening. Give this video a big thumbs up, and like I said, just leave a comment down below and help me. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and seeing the apartment tours, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.